Hey everyone, it's your boy Matt here. So this is another defensive video. So Michael Armstrong has violated his restraining order again. Um, he needs to go to prison. There's no ifs or buts about it. He needs to go to jail. There, there's a rhetorical device used by people during the War on Terror, and it was like, these people are against our way of life. Now, the way I'd like to interpret that, if it had any meaning, because usually it's just a demagogical technique to say, okay, everyone, everything you love, these people are against it. Um, Similarly to the concept of we do not negotiate with terrorists, which is just meant to say we do whatever the fuck we want as an imperialist power. Um, and anyone that we say that we don't like and is against that agenda, well, we'll just label them as something like that, and then it's all over. Now, Michael, long before things escalated to where they are now, he put a fucking restraining order on me, and then he would start stalking me. So he used to probe it. I never saw him around where I lived, even though we lived in the same suburb, and he'd still come around me, right? After he put that order in. He he was doing that again. He's been doing that online today. Um, he'll try and paint things like I'm anti-Jewish or something. Look, this guy is deserving of immense hatred from the community. He needs to go to prison. There's no ifs or buts about it, right? This guy is a criminal. And worse than that, he does, like the same way that we have this thing. Okay, let me put it like this. People who go around in death squads and start killing civilians, they probably have a different thought process than the people who are like myself, who are advocating for responsible government, democracy, and for these things to function, right? What he's been doing is that these signals guys have been changing the content of my videos. They have been trying to marginalize me. They've been hacking me. They've been violating the rule of law. They've been interfering with our court processes by changing the content of my videos, which are my version at sometimes of legal testimony. They do not respect our way of life. Okay? So let's make that very clear. These people are not the good guys. These guys, if we were to use the term terrorist or something similar, or moles or anything like that, these are those people. These guys are the moles. These guys are the people who need to be eradicated like a cancer. Because they are a cancerous fucking mole. They've ingratiated themselves into our system, and then they've acted as if because they have some form of authority within our intelligence apparatus, that somehow that makes their behavior more legitimate in the sense of like, okay, it's morally correct, and now what we define as a terrorist or what we define as the enemy is the enemy. When really it's just an opportunity for them to commit crime, to commit heinous acts, right? This guy has committed domestic abuse. He's committed coercive control, literally to the point that we're getting new legislation in Canberra to deal with people like him. And we've already have this personal protection order. The police are aware of the situation. Why can't he go to prison? It's confusing. It's very confusing. All the behavior I've done has been me trying to escape a cult. This man is a cult leader. This man has done some heinous shit. It's time for him to face the consequences. There will never be a moment where I forgive this man. He's beyond it. He's beyond it. He's repeatedly doubled down and entrenched and committed these terrible behaviors. His community and everyone around him need to be made alienated and isolated. They need to be, and I'm using strong language here, right? They need to be fucking removed, man. They need to be eradicated from the APS. They need to be completely ostracized. This is not a time for us to take a light touch. He needs to fucking take consequences for his behavior. This is not a political situation. This is a very cut and dry situation. Just because someone has because he's got this kind of aura of sympathy around him, he seems to be immune to the consequences of his behavior. And it's allowed him to get away with some truly heinous things. You need to remember that this man's background is cyber warfare. He spends his days thinking of ways to try and outsmart and do social engineering and these things. And now he's got this sympathy. You don't think he's going to try and use that? I don't think people understand who they're working with here and who they're fighting here and what an absolutely heinous individual this man is. And no mercy can be shown towards him at all. Have a good evening, everyone.